Welcome to Live, Love and Enlighten Me, the podcast. This is an introduction, and to begin with, I'm going to start with a question for all of you listeners. In general, are you a punchline person or are you a backstory person? Now, a punchline person is somebody who probably many of us know at least one. I do. That they look at the beginning of something, the beginning of a movie, a series, a video, and then fast forward way to the end, to the last chapter, or to the last segment of it, to go and see what the outcome is, who done it, what the characters look like at the end. And from that they decide, or not, whether they should have looked at all of the middle of it to find out what the intrigue of getting the storyline to that point was all about. A lot of the times they don't. They just go, oh no, that's not for me, and they move to the next one. All is well. A backstory person is somebody who has curiosity. They start listening, and it's like, well, the topic was interesting. I liked the title. But let me listen a little bit longer, and they listen, and it's like, okay. And then every now and again, the storyteller brings up a provocative moment or comment or intriguing point of view, and it's like, oh, hadn't thought about that. So you just keep listening, and you keep going further and further into the story. And as the story of whatever it is about unfolds, and if they're a very good storyteller, and most specifically, if the story is about real life and the person who is narrating it was the walker of that real life path, there becomes an involvement that you feed into the passion or the intrigue, the emotions of the person who is walking the path and reliving the path that you are listening to. That's very powerful, because more often than not, the longer you listen, there's more little gems that can be found along the path of information, of aha moments, of like, wow, that is a new perspective. I hadn't heard about that, or this is information that I didn't know. So, as an introduction to this podcast, Live, Love and Enlighten Me, the podcast, then you have to decide, because if you are a punchline person, this podcast is probably not going to be what you're looking for, because I do tell you, me as one of the storytellers, I do go on, because I have had so many amazing experiences and mundane experiences that often turn into being the most amazing lessons. Usually the harder the lesson, the bigger the awareness and the bigger the beauty of the gem at the end. So if you're intrigued, if you're curious, stay with us, go through, and as our inventory of stories grow, you start to learn and see the world from very, very different eyes. For the eyes that I am going to share the world through have seen 73 years. A lot of the world that I grew up with, this really does not exist any longer, but it should. Before the internet, before computers, where some of my most amazing experiences happened, that defy logic, that defy pretty much anything except my need to trust what I was being shown and where I was being led, and not having any idea of the outcomes. And I can tell you, I have witnessed and facilitated incredible miracles that defy the logic of 3D world. So if you're curious, welcome and join us and my friends and my guests and interviewees who I will have known, who I know for a fact that they walk the life path, that it is not a theoretical path that they walk. They walk in real life through the darkness and the light. And through them, we will all come together to have a greater awareness of living, of loving, and being enlightened for you, me, and the world we live in, this 3D planet of Earth.